Welcome back to First Take. It was a rough night for the Lakers in Denver yesterday. All-stars Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic each scored 28 points to lead the Nuggets to a 120-113 win. That's all great, but this is the problem here for the Lakers. Luka Doncic picked up his 15th tech of the season during the loss, leaving him just one technical away from an automatic one-game suspension. So, okay, they lose the game. Fine. The Nuggets are a good basketball team, but now we have to zoom in a little bit on what's happening here with Luka Doncic. Does it feel like he's underachieving as the superstar of this Lakers squad, DD?
Yeah, he's not doing what he was promised to do. Let's look at the beginning of this season, right? Everybody was talking about Luka, and he's going to be in shape. Luka comes in, I'm slim, I'm on the cover of Men's Health, I'm svelte, I'm doing all this stuff that I need to do.
Svelte the word.
And the problem is, that don't help you on defense. There are skinny people all across the league who cannot play defense. There are skinny people all across the league who get beat on back screens, who get blown by, which, by the way, Luka Doncic is on a per-game basis getting blown by more than anybody else in the league, which means your defense falls apart. He's not even defending the best players on the opposite side of the court when this is happening. Your team is failing in large part because you have a deficiency at defense, and we cannot play you on the court with Austin Reeves and LeBron James. LeBron James got an excuse, right? LeBron James, 42 years old. He's 23. He got an excuse. One of you guys has to play defense, and that's Luka Doncic, the guy who came into this season promising that he was going to do it. You have failed to do so this season.
Yeah, but we knew that the Lakers were going to struggle on the defensive end this year. This is not new news, right?
That doesn't absolve him.
I'm a huge Lakers fan, and I knew that this team was going to struggle on defense because they're not built appropriately with a star like Luka Doncic. We saw when the Dallas Mavericks were at their best, when they made a run to the NBA Finals, they were built a certain way. They had guys that could be rim protectors. They had guys that were good perimeter defenders because they had to account for Luka Doncic being a deficiency on that end of the court. And guess what? They did that, and Luka carried them to a finals. The Lakers aren't built like that in large part because they can't with the allocation of resources with LeBron James still on that team, which is why it's madness to me to even consider LeBron James coming back for a farewell tour next year because that's going to burn a year of Luka Doncic in his prime. But that's neither here nor there. The part as a Lakers fan that frustrates me the most is that you would want Luka Doncic. I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan since Magic Johnson and Showtime. I'm a huge Lakers fan. That's hard to do growing up in New York City. The part that's frustrating to me is that this guy has not matured while being in the proximity of greatness with the Lakers organization and with LeBron James, who in my book is the second greatest to lace him up. I was so optimistic coming into this season about Luka evolving as a personality, as a leader, him taking his health and wellness seriously, getting into better shape. I said, you know what? Maybe this is the LeBron James effect. Not that LeBron James is a mentor, but LeBron James being around him, seeing how he goes about his business as a professional, could have a positive impact on Luka. And this issue with the referees and jawing at him and using profanity at him, knowing how that's going to end, has not changed. And at some point, you just had to acknowledge that he has not matured in the way that we would expect a pro in the face of a franchise to when they get into their latter 20s.
You said it in the beginning when you got Luka, this is what you expect. That's like the Chris Rock line. That Tiger didn't go crazy. That Tiger went Tiger. Like, that's Luka. This is who he is. And it's easy to have a revenge body in the offseason when you don't have to play every other day and you don't have to keep your diet in order. You're more regimented. I think that Luka in year 9, and this is what we're going to be looking at next season, year 9 of Luka. He profiles and tracks like a James Harden, like a player who controls so much of the offense, is a system unto himself, but how much are you asking of him on the defensive end? You said it, Canty. Dallas, for all of Nico Harrison's faults, he built the team around Luka that hid those deficiencies. You got wing defenders, you got lone guys that can protect the rim and finish above the rim. He's not impossible to build around, but there has to be a commitment from him to acknowledge this is my franchise, this is a part of something that I have to be actively building. And here's the other part too, and we have to be honest about this. When Nico Harrison traded him, he said to me, not to me, but he said to the world, you're a loser. You carried my team to the NBA Finals, and I'm trading you 5 months later. That's him saying, I think you are a loser. I don't think that you can win with you as the headliner. Everything about Luka since then should not just be about, oh, Nico did me wrong. Everything about that should be saying, I am better than that. I am not just a winning basketball player. I am a champion. And the fact that he hasn't elevated himself and begun to try he tries on occasion, but then it tails off. Seriously, it tails off. He's the student that gets an A by showing up, and then when it's time to study, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. That's where he is at this point, and I don't know how the Lakers are going to build around that in the future.
Let's take us back. Let's take a little way back here. 2020, we're in the bubble.
Ooh, well, we got to go back there.
We're in the bubble.
Oh,
I know.
back
It's
there.
a different time.
We will.
We're in the bubble, right? We're washing our vegetables, doing all that stuff. Luka Doncic is playing the Clippers.
There it is.
Right there. Mm-hmm. Hits this shot, and you're thinking about this dude who is single-handedly toppling this Clippers team, right? 6 years ago, if I'd have told you that Luka Doncic has not won an MVP 6 years later, what would you say?
Shot's so clean, too.
That shot is this dude looked like the future of the league, right? And there was a misnomer about that Dallas Mavericks run to the finals. During the second half of that season, when they were making that run, Luka was playing really good defense. Mm-hmm. That was a great defensive team, in part because of what Luka was doing. So for half a season, he showed some of that promise. But overall, in these 6 years, this dude has not cracked the MVP. Even the discussion topped out at third at MVP. Nobody's talking about him as a legitimate MVP candidate right now.
Well, third is pretty high.
You're in the conversation.
But he was not realistically going to win that award, right?
So to your point,
yeah.
I feel like the greats, the basketball greats, the players we love, MJ, LeBron at one point, let's take his age out now, go down the line. They're two-way players, and Luka's not that. What are you pointing to? One half of a season? How is he ever going to be that superstar that the Lakers need him to be if listen, we talk about the text. It's problematic, though, because he's too busy arguing with the ref to get back on defense and help his team out. He's not even a willing defender, let alone a good one. He's not even a willing defender.
Just be present. That's all. Just put your body.
No, we're not
Put your body in the way.
Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks ain't a good defender, but Jalen Brunson will get in the way. He'll get run over slow. He leads the league in charges that he's taken. And you're just asking Luka to be more mindful of positioning so he can make the lives of all the other players on the defensive end of the court a little bit easier. But he isn't doing that because he's self-absorbed and he's focusing on jawing with the refs. And I understand players wanting to trash talk to get themselves going, but usually that's at the opponents. It's not at the refs. Right. And I can't understand why Luka continues to get caught up in this, and this could put his team at a detriment. You're talking about last night against the Nuggets. That was a one-possession game in the final 2 minutes. So there was no margin for error. And to make mistakes throughout that game, and particularly in the second half when he gets that technical, is just inexcusable. Not for a leader of a team in the face of that franchise.
Not for nothing. The Lakers have a task in front of them this offseason. Assuming they say goodbye to LeBron James, they'll have more money. They have to take care of Austin Reeves, and you have to go about building a team around Luka's talents. Let's not take the responsibility off them, because when you acquire a Luka Doncic, I don't care if it's a gift. You've got to understand what you're bringing into your building and what type of future you have to have around him. So it's just as much incumbent on the Lakers to build around Luka, knowing what they have, as it is on Luka to make himself a champion.
Hold on. I'll push back on that one, because before, when the Dallas Mavericks moved on from Luka and Nico Harrison traded him, everybody thought Nico Harrison was crazy. If this doesn't work in L.A., nobody's going to blame the Lakers front office for it not getting to the championship round.
Yes, they will.
Not before they blame Luka Doncic. That's the issue that I'm talking about. In Dallas, they didn't win a championship with Luka. Shame on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Lakers, you don't win a championship with that organization that has proven they know how to win championships with almost every kind of star you want to imagine in NBA history. If they don't get it done with an owner that has more resources than God, then ultimately that's going to fall on the star player that they elected to build around in the post-LeBron James era. So the onus, the responsibility for the Lakers achieving success at the highest level, it now feels like it's more so on Luka than any other of the key actors in that building.
Well, he better find a way then to get this thing right, because a lot of the onus is already falling on his shoulders. Coming up here on First Take, Jason Tatum soon going to be returning to a team, and he's going to team up with his old teammate in Jaylen Brown. But with the East as tough as it is, does it make him now the team to beat in the East? We're not seeing